Good afternoon, one and all. Uh, well, I think it's an honor for me to be with you. And first and foremost, I must thank Chandrasekhar Saab and thank him for calling me over here to be among you all. The knowledge that I've got is very, very little. Very little, as big as a mustard seed. I'm still learning. I'm still learning today. Probably when I see every image that comes out from one of you all, I am learning from you all. Learning is a process. The day you say, I know everything, that is the end of the road. Okay? So, let's be very honest. I'm not a very good speaker, but I'm a good workman. Because we only believe one thing is work. Work is worship. And the end of the day is whatever work you give to the other end of the globe, they should see it and say, yes, I must get there to get my work done. I must go there and buy my things. I must collaborate with them. So that is our way of thinking, and not only me, even my son who is with me, that's the way we work. To start with, we go on to the first slide. This is the first picture. I'm just giving it to you. I'm just giving you a small little brief of what we are. Well, the family has been in this business for about 190 years. But my father was the one who took this photograph for the foundation stone for the Osmania University in 1937. Okay? So that is to start out just a little bit of what we are. Next. This was a picture what I took in 1970 of the inauguration of Hindustan Cables. At that point of time, there was a small mishap. I fell down about 10 feet. And that's the time when Indira Gandhi, she stopped the vehicle and said, are you okay? I said, I'm perfectly fine. You fell down? I said, I didn't fall down. I jumped down. But I know what happened. That's the time when our Narasimha Rao, who was our ex-prime minister, he told, this boy is always like this. Because at that point of time, we didn't have any industries to work around in Hyderabad. We are either doing wedding photography or something different. But what happens after this, then we went on to do photography. This is a few pictures of what mine was. I had an opportunity of working with Mother Teresa at one point of time, and we were quite close to each other. I covered the Queen's visit when she came to Hyderabad. This was the pictures, what I shot. This is about another about 1965, I think I shot this. 1983. So when this started, this was the beginning of my journey. But before that, my journey started at my office. My dad, my brother, myself, we all started working. So that's how I got into photography. I didn't like studies. To be honest with you, don't misunderstand, I'm an uneducated character. I've gone to a school. I've studied till the 6th class. After that, this is what life has taken a turn on me. I never look back. I never regret it. I don't regret it. The reason why is, it is what you give to the society. It is what you give to people. Okay? Mind you, one picture of yours should talk 1,000,000 words. This is the TEDx talk that I gave at that point of time. There's a picture of the Charminar. As we go along, we'll see it along the way. Next. Y'all are shooting drones. We never used to shoot on drones. We used to sit on a crane, and that's how we do our work. In those days, we didn't have something known as safety belt and all. If you all go today, you all say, I want a safety belt. We don't have a safety belt. Either you fall and go straight to heaven, or you go to hell. Whereas today, I want to know how many of us would like to take a risk like this. And I even do it till today. When we are on a shoot, we start work at 4 in the morning. And we do not know when we close. We do not know when we are going to go sleep. We know one thing is we will be there, we will go home at least by 12 o'clock. We'll go 12 o'clock, we have our dinner, go to sleep, back to the site at 4 o'clock. It is, as I told you, is what we can give in. Okay. Today we are using digital. Am I right? If you want to shoot this one picture, how long would you take? And how many pictures would you shoot? I'll tell you one thing. These are shot on color transparencies. Sir will know it. This is where we were shooting Nagarjuna Fertilizer. This is shot about 40 years ago, 45 years ago.
That image is 45 years.
Yes. I can proudly turn back and tell you, the company still uses my images because, why? It is good. They can sell their company. They can sell their product. This was shot at 6 in the morning. It was summertime. This is also shot during the same time. And all these are shot on a crane. The crane boom goes up to a certain height. And when you're standing there, because of the sea, the cradle moves. I have a friend of mine by name Mr. Arun Yadati who was there. And when we were shooting, when it was moving, I told him, Arun, you get onto the other side. You stand there, because we wanted it to balance. Otherwise, the momentum is there, my exposures it'll be a blur. Okay? And mind you, we only shoot 3 pictures. Under, correct, over. Under, either it's one stop underexposed, one stop overexposed, and one stop is correct. This is a one stop underexposed. Both. So analog films had its own charm. I would say that is an horse. Analog is an horse. But digital, I will not comment. Even today when we are shooting 3 images. Let it be anything. Under, correct, over. And the factory floor that we shoot is anything but like, say, 400 feet by 1,000 or 2,000 feet. And we are using our own lights. We are using our own lights. We don't use artificial lights. I mean, the lights that is in the floor. All crane shots. That was our drone in the yesteryears. They are all shot on color transparency. Why I wanted you to see the color transparency is, well, I wanted the younger generation, the modern generation, to know how we have come from analog to digital. I'm telling you today, if you are perfect with an analog, whether it to be black and white or color, your digital is like tip of your finger. You can play around with your tip of your fingers. Next. This is, of course, digital. Now, this is where my work starts. Now, we are shooting mostly industries, and once we visit the site, go to the next. We have to always remember one thing. Calculate the time of the year, calculate the day of the year, calculate when you are there, what is the color temperature is there of your sky. Your light has a color temperature, yes? No? What is the temperature you are supposed to use at? What is the daylight temperature? Can you tell me?
5,500.
That is for color negative. 5,500 Kelvin is for color negative. For digital, it's totally different. It's about 100 less, 200 less. So what happens is, you have to be very practical when you're shooting digital, calculate your time and at what time you're shooting. The biggest problem with digital, you have got auto mode, AW, auto white balance. We never had an auto white balance. And if we were shooting at auto white balance with a color negative, sometimes we could have gone wrong. We have learned things over the years, everything very practically, nothing theoretical. Only when you put your hand in the chemicals, you will know what your chemical is all about and what print you can give. Today, we do not have the time to put our hand in the chemicals at all. How many of y'all have put your hand into the chemicals? Not yourselves. Y'all are stalwarts. How many of y'all? Nobody. No, I'm not talking about y'all. The old timers know about it, not the youngsters. How many of y'all have used analog black and white negatives? To be honest, you all don't know photography. Okay? Because when you're doing photography, I think your mentor has to teach you the basic, the first foundation stone is analog, which nobody wants to teach today. Because you're wasting your time in the darkroom, you're wasting your time processing a film or printing a picture. If I'm wrong, sir, please correct me. This is where y'all should learn that. Next. This again, we shot this where the Prime Minister inaugurated this. We shot it for a company. This is the solar plant. We had just picked up in the night and said we are shooting a solar plant which the Prime Minister is going to inaugurate. And we did not see the solar plant. When we took this there, we reached at 4:30 in the morning, 5 o'clock, we went to the site, and this is what we got. If you all want to ask me questions, please ask me. Reason is, I will be able to, I want a one-to-one interaction with you all, please. Okay? Can you all? Can you all? Yes or no? Yes. Please, yeah. Next. This is one of the plants what we shot last December. We have started drones since of late. Otherwise, I am one person, I don't like drones because I do not know how to operate a drone. My son operates the drone. I'm zero on electronics. Okay. The area of work is, what we do is, industry is not like what all of you all think. You get everything on a golden platter. You never get anything on a golden platter, especially for photographers who are doing industry like us. You believe it or not, this, what we are shooting is 300 meters below the ground. And there's water seepage everywhere. Water seepage everywhere. You have to protect your equipment. Digital is something where you got to protect. So, just after this entrance of the mine, that is about half a kilometer away into the mine, and just beyond that, the mine fell down. It collapsed. We thought we are gone. Nobody will know where you are. This was at Orissa. So, what happens in industrial photography is we have to be careful all the while. And mind you, I don't use an exposure meter. All of you all use an exposure meter. I don't use. Even in my analog days, I never used to use an exposure meter. I do not know what an exposure meter is. I bought an exposure meter thinking I would use it. But I did not know how to use it. I kept it back. It's still there intact in a new box. The reason why is all your calculation is here in your brain, not anywhere. If you know how to read and calculate light, you can do it. This is at Nizamabad. Next. This is again back in a tunnel. This is approximately 150 meters. Do you think your camera could cover it? Can you give me an answer? Why not? How did I get it? How did I get the picture? Can you give me an answer, please? I want an interaction. I don't want you all to sit like dumb people, please. Open your mouth. Talk. Huh? Panorama. What a pano shot. I don't understand your language. Please stand up. Stand up. Stand up and tell me. What is that pano shot? What is the meaning of it? What is the meaning of it? Stitching. Okay, how do you shoot it? Vertical or horizontal?
For a vertical, we should shoot horizontal. For a horizontal, we shoot vertical.
Okay, can you shoot it at this point of time? Can I shoot it there? Yes, we can. Please do not have the word no in your brain. You always must try to do something new. When you are put into the sea, you're not going to say, God, come and save me. No. You're going to swim and come out of it. That's exactly what happens here. This is our power plant.
So you haven't explained how you are taking it. Maybe at multiple levels you might have.
Go back. Thank you. That shows your keenness. That is not there. That is there with the old guys like all of us. We always want to learn. Yeah. I had a fisheye lens. A fisheye lens covers, it's an 8 mm lens. So what happens is, you will get a distortion, circular. Okay? So verticals, I shot 6 verticals and I stitched them. And don't ask me how I did the correction, huh? That's left up to you to go and sit down and work on it. And no tripod. I do not believe in a tripod because we don't have the time to think of a tripod below, wherever you are. Like I'm in hell and I want to come out of it. So I'm trying to use something to come out of it. And this is what we are doing. God knows. Next. This is one of the companies that I shot at Srikakulam. They generate power from gas. These are all pans. I shoot my panorama on my thumb. This is my tripod. This is a furnace where they make glass bottles. Okay? You cannot go and stand there with your lens because your lens can melt. This is a panorama. It is a panorama. Again, I shot a panorama there. I first went, I stood, because the company gives me a certain requirement. They say, this is what I'm looking for. It is my duty as a photographer to think on behalf of a company like you. You have given me a job to do. So I think on your behalf. I do not know whether I'm doing the right thing or the wrong thing. But we shoot. We shoot and come back to you and say, if they say, I want 10 pictures, I shoot 25, 30 pictures. Give them an option to check, see what it is. Because at the end of the day, the client is the man who's going to pay me. And I have to satisfy him. Okay? We went, saw the picture, from the place where I wanted, went up to the thing on top, saw the place. I came down. This explains to you about the complete process of working. You may ask me how. Okay, this is where all the material is dropped in. From this, it is distributed to all the furnaces. From here, it is sent to all the furnace below, there. And from there, it comes down here. And where it is, the bottle is manufactured and comes out. I did a mistake now I thought of it. I should have shown a little more of that. But I couldn't because at that point of time, the heat was so much. I was not afraid of anything. I was afraid of my lens, where it will melt because of the heat that is generated there. This comprised of 8 photographs. There are 8 images in this one picture. Enlarge it, son. If there's any stitching mistake, you can tell me.
How you stitch? What points you stitch? What points?
you see, now everything is there on the system itself. All depends on how you can go from picture 1 to picture 2, picture 3, picture 4, picture 5, picture 6. But what happens is, this total thing, 8 pictures, took me 4 seconds to shoot. So when I turn the camera, it has to be total in 4 seconds, I have completed my shoot. Got it? This is the furnace. Okay. The bottles I was talking to you about this is the bottle, the outcome of it.
So it's like teaching degrees of people 10 students.
Sir, I'm still learning, sir. No, by God, I'm learning. By God, I'm not joking. Every photograph that comes, no, I'll tell you one thing. Every photograph that comes into the magazine, every photograph that comes into the magazine, I sit down and make it a point to go through each image. Each image. Which photograph I like, I'll just sit down, see it 10 times to see how this picture was taken. See, we are not perfect, but we are trying to get close to it. I know this subject is such a boring subject. Industrial photography is, nobody would like to touch it. Nobody wants to touch it. Because you're spending more time, your returns are less. But today you all want more returns with no time. Let's be very honest with you. Next. These are some of the very casual shots, nothing very interesting. Back to square one. See, I was asked to shoot HPCL. So if I wanted to shoot HPCL by itself, I had no meaning to it. Absolutely no meaning. What am I going to show? Empty tanks? Only tanks? Tanks is not everything at all. Petrol is being sent into the tank. Okay? So this is what I felt was good enough. Because you find the pipelines, this conveying to this. That's all. Very simple. Next. Yeah, please, go back. This one?
Sir, my name is Prasanna. Yeah, so recently I was shooting for steel tanks. I was doing a shoot for steel tanks. So in present scenario, we were using external lights, okay, big daylights and all, everything for the indoor light, because indoor light was very low. Okay, and at that point of time, how would you manage the lighting? Because at that time, there were no such big lights and all.
To be honest with you, you know the lights what I'm using? Your same studio lights what you're using, 300, 400D. All depends on what you want to deliver. I'll tell you one thing, I'm coming back to lighting, I'll come back to it at a later stage. But definitely, lighting plays a very key role in photography. Okay, I'm going back to you, I'm going to ask you all a question. Sir, it's a very small question, forgive me. Huh? Okay. What do we photographers look at? Give me an answer. Louder. Basically, from morning sunrise to sunset, what do we look at? That's exactly. Light is the most important. Light is the most important factor in photography. If you know how to use that light, and you know how to play with light, you can play along. That's what I told you at the very beginning. Light. Light is the most important thing. What is the second one that is important? He's right. Composition. Framing. Correct. If you know how to frame a picture, you will know how to get a good image. Besides that image, what is the next that you would like to see with your image?
No, actually, so now it's a digital. So we take a lot of images till we get satisfied. At that time, you were working on the reel and all everything. So you have only the limited space there to click at the right moment.
No, I stand by corrected. You see, even with your digital, right? Please make it a point to control your images for 3 exposures only. Underexpose, overexpose, and underexpose and normal. All the 3, if you know how to use it. And secondly, your light, you're using, for a stainless steel tank, you are using your lights. You're using them directly. Am I right? So what happens is, the light will bounce.
So means now technology has improved and all, we use polarized filters and all everything for that to control. Yeah.
No, don't be worried, don't be worried. Whatever it may look, your question may look very silly. My answers may look very silly. But at the end of the day, we want a good image.
So I'll tell you one thing which happened with me recently. Because I was satisfied with the photograph and all everything perfectly fine. But client was like, literally, you have to use a direct light image and all everything. So I was like, there is no, so how could I put it in words?
Then I would like to do one thing.
Yeah.
I would definitely like to see your image, sit with you, and see in what best way I could help you. Because your lighting, you can control it. How many lights are you using? 2.
One will be the direct light and one will be
Okay, now I'm coming back to lighting now. How many lights do we photographers need, basically?
3 lights.
Huh? Why 3 lights? Depth is simple. Your f-stop controls your depth. Shutter speed is different. Aperture is different. Aperture controls your depth of field. Am I right? You need minimum 3 lights, but when you're going on a factory floor, remember one thing, you need minimum is at least 6 lights. For a factory floor, I use around 24 lights. And mind you, when we use all the lights, you'll never find one light coming into the lens. Because, I mind you one thing, your control is the camera. At that point when you're standing, when you're looking through it, you should see that none of the lights come in. That means your shadow area has to be covered. Your highlight and shadow has to be shown very clearly with those lights. They are small lights. I'm not using big lights because I feel I can control the complete lights with just a small output. Yeah, supposing I use, I just use 4 lights, about 2000 watts. More than enough. It controls everything. More than enough. But here when you use this, you have a individual control on each space that is there. Remember, from here to where you are sitting, can you tell me every square inch, there's a difference of exposure, which we normally we ignore. We'll say, "Arey, available light is there, maro, chodo, chala gaya, aa gaya." Why? Because you have that AWB on your camera. AWB is a donkey. Digital is a donkey. Got it? Let me be honest. Digital is a donkey. I don't mind any other companies here. I'll tell them because we can prove, the old timers here can prove that analog was any day a better thing because with a negative, okay, what is the size of print you can make on a digital? Can you tell me? Approximate size. "20 inches, 30 inches, 40 inches, 50 inches? Anything more? Let me get an answer. See, on a digital you will get maximum is 24, 36, 40 inches, right? You will get a 6 feet print. But on an analog, you can get a print of 10 feet by 30 feet, which I have done. The difference between a digital and an analog is, in digital you have something known as pixelation. It is square. Whereas in negative, it is known as dot matrix. So when you make a print of that size, you'll find that the dots are merging with the other dot so well, you cannot make out anything. Whereas for the today's camera, you'll say, I want a 100 megapixel camera. Am I right? We don't need a 100 megapixel camera for a digital, for an analog. So that is where we stand. Next time. But I will sit with you personally and see to your thing. No issues. This is one of the units we shot. Can you enlarge it? Huh? Is pixelating? Okay, enlarge this. It's not very clear on this. This picture is clear from this end to this end, and you can still see the threads. At the end of the day, back to square one. Everything depends on the camera and the person who is handling the camera. All of us are using laptops? Yes, no? Who works on the laptop? Is the laptop working for you or is you working for the laptop? You are the one who are working. So that means the camera, you have the control on the camera. It is not the camera that has control on you. Okay? Next one. These are some of the works that we do. Slow. This was shot on a negative. Transparency, back to square one. This was shot on a transparency again. You have the transparency? Where's it? I brought it, no? Okay. This was shot on a transparency. I just wanted you to feel what analog is compared to what digital is. And mind you, here there is no question of me doing any corrections on this. I don't have an option. What I shoot, only when I come back and process in my lab. After 2 days or 3 days or 4 days, then only I'll know what my result is. Right? Whereas the digital, as soon as you click, you'll turn. How many of you all shoot without turning this? How many of you all? Nobody. As soon as you click, you'll first do this to see what your result is. That should not be there. This habit is wrong. Next. This is a bit of architecture, what I do. Slow. Yes? Zoom. Stop your bloody. Next. No, next. Go to the next. Enlarge it. Enlarge it. We are using our lights also along with this. It is not the lights that are there. Mind you, all my images that you see, that ambience of the light, the ambience of this room, you will see it. You will see the ambience of the room. So the ambience of the room is seen there. We are using our light so that we are being able to control the white. Next. Next. Very good. Keep it to us. Why are you changing it so fast? Enlarge it, son. Please enlarge all the pictures. No, this is blur. Huh? PPT, yeah. Okay. I don't know, there's something wrong with the color here. Can you all tell me how many pictures are there in this one picture? I want you to guess, sir, please. How's that I don't get an answer from all of you tonight? What? How many pictures? Two? Come on. Are you sure? Come on, let me get an answer from you all. There are total 73 photographs in this photograph. 73 images. There are 73 images, and this was shot for one of my clients who was in Sweden. Their thing was, they are the ones who supplied the acoustics. They only wanted a photograph of the acoustics only. They said, we want a picture of the acoustics. I said, done. I went and seen the place, we came back. Next day morning, we went there. But one thing is, whenever we are doing a shoot, photo shoot for any industry, we make it a point to go there and do a recce. We do a recce a day in advance. Because we would like to have everything in order. The place clean, people with their uniforms, and whatever instructions we give them, we want that to be done. Because we are talking about the image of a company. So that is what we made a recce. We told them we want certain things. It was done. I'm sorry, we don't do Photoshop. I do not do Photoshop. I don't believe in it. Whatever I do, everything is done at the camera itself. And we have used our artificial lights here. We have used our studio lights here. But can you see where they are? Can you see where they are? So all depends. You see, take your own time. Initially, it will take a little time for you to adjust. Because industry is such, it's not a thing where you can do it overnight. In the yesteryears, we used to have photographers who used to come from Bombay. They used to say, "Hum khali 4 photo lete ek din mein." Am I right, sir? Only 4 photographs. We in Hyderabad have changed the concept. We are shooting around 15 to 18 pictures a day. Why? Because we used to do our recce, we used to do our homework. You need homework to be done. We went, shot the picture, we set the lights. If you see very clearly, you can see one of the lights which is bouncing off here. Like that, there's a light which is bouncing off at this corner. So, we set up our lights, and mind you, we only shoot one set of images for the total thing. It takes me 1.5 hours to shoot. I shot that one picture and packed up. So there's no question as me sitting there and doing the stitching. I came back home and did the stitching and I gave it to them. One set. I didn't have underexposure, overexposure. There was no time. Because it took me time to set my lights. By then it was 3 hours over. So, there's a little about this photograph. Next. Okay. These products may look very unassuming to you all. Yes, it is unassuming. Because these are the parts which have been used for the rocket. They are hardly about 1.5 inch, 2 inches long. 1/2 inch, 2 inch. That's it, not more. You were talking to him about stainless steel, correct? Enlarge this. Down, down. Can you give me any comments on that? If it is bad, you are welcome to tell me it's bad. Because I can only learn when you say that my pictures are bad.
Actually, I can feel the texture in that matte finish texture, whatever it is.
Yes?
I literally feel that on the photograph.
You can feel it?
Yeah. Perfect.
Thank you. Go up.
So that is what I feel, learning, every day is a learning photography. Even though...
Life is learning.
Yeah, that's what.
Yeah. It's not very clear, but all these are small, tiny little things. It was tough for us to do the lighting. And the client was very clear that he wanted these in this little job that we did. Next. These are again parts of it. All these are parts of the Agni. This is that fin that, makes your aircraft go. Can you see this? There is no Photoshop, please. This is all done on lighting. Right? Can you see the shade? It is like this. Next. Next. Over. So this is you can put the heritage pictures. Heritage you have there. Where's the pen drive? It's in the pen drive. Spin towards the old city. I got a few pictures of the old city. Next. Okay, I'll just talk to you a little about this. I went there to take this photograph. Then I found this is the first time probably in the world you could see Makkah Masjid and the Charminar together. Nowhere you have seen a photograph of both the monuments there. Am I right or wrong, sir? This has got 16 images, 16. 16 images. I spun it on my thumb in 8 seconds. Okay? And they are not horizontal, they are vertical images. Okay?
8 seconds, people who are standing, the namaz.
That is why I got them in 8 seconds. They stand only for 8 seconds.
Know about the namaz.
Yes. We have to, that is where we have to do our homework. What we do is calculate. The first time they get up, you calculate. Second time, you keep ready to shoot.
The fast word is under 8 seconds and 8 seconds, no blur.
No blur. You'll have, I'll show you the original file. You will find no stitching problem.
Probably you could have been an eagle in your previous birth.
I beg your pardon? I beg your pardon? Yeah, go ahead. I want to know.
I suspect that you were eagle in your previous birth. Bird.
No, sir. No. This is there with everybody. It is with you also. Mind you, everybody who is sitting in this room has the talent. The day you learn to say no, you're as good as a waste paper basket. Let's be very honest with you. Everybody is born with a talent. Okay? The day you say no, that's the end of the road. Next. Okay, you all must be seeing Charminar quite often. So this is what I felt. You see the detailing on the door. And mind you, we are talking about depth of field. How you can control from this end, you can see the other door. Next. As I was traveling in Tamil Nadu, I just took this picture. The reason why I took this picture is, you are seeing why that barren land is. There is an underground from here, you can go under the river to the other part. And mind you, this temple is about 600 years old. And in those days, there was an underground tunnel connecting from this part of the river to the other part. Yes. This is taken in Kolkata. This is in Kolkata, sir. No. Here what I've got, I'll show you one picture. How is that you?
I saw the picture.
Okay. This is all Kolkata. This is the Hyderabad one. This is taken in Tamil Nadu. You see how the colors can be saturated. Next. If you see, go back. Enlarge. This has got, you can see the inscription here. Go down. Down. The inscription is here in Hindi. You all have been to the church, most of you all. You all have been there, but you all did not see the detail of it. It has Hindi, go up, slowly go up. English, go up, up. And Telugu. Yeah, Telugu. See, when you go somewhere, when you see something, you take a picture, but try to get a little bit of the history of that particular place. Next. This was my first panorama that I shot. Okay? Guess how many pictures? Guess how many pictures? Sure? This has got 198 pictures. If I stitch this picture, it will be a round circle. See, when you say industry and advertising photography, photography is again into different languages. Like you have got A, B, C, D, E, F. Our photography, each subject is different. Travel is different. Industry is different. In industry, you shoot anything right from a needle to an aircraft. That's where I'm doing. We are doing is, we shoot a needle, we shoot an aircraft, we are shooting above the ground, below the, we have done anti-missile photography. Anti-missile photography I have done about 45 years ago. Missile to missile photography. And we have done on negative. Now don't ask me how I did it. I did it. Because today it's a specialized line. Industry has a specialized line. Your youngsters will not like it. But if you put your mind, heart, soul into that, I bet you will achieve it. But money, keep it aside. That does not come number one. Money is not number one. Once you are being able to get a name, you can hit, and not hit here, hit it right across the country. And mind you, in Hyderabad, we have got best of photographers. We are not being recognized because we don't market ourselves. Nowadays, we try to market ourselves for wedding photography. For a wedding photography, how many pictures do you all shoot? I'm asking you all a question. Please answer me. I beg your pardon? Huh? 2,500.
1,500 to 2,000 minimum.
Louder, please. I can't hear. I'm deaf. Stand up. Stand up and tell me. Please stand. How much? 6,500? 1,500. And how many do you give to the client? Okay. You were telling me something, no?
No, I'm just telling the count only, 1,500 around.
Okay. For 300 pictures, for 300, Depende. For a wedding album, correct? And nowadays you all don't give album, you all give only soft copies. In soft copies also we are cheating our customers. Let's be honest about it. I know some reputed photographers who have done work for some people. You talk something, you deliver something. You give the client the images all in KBs. They have paid you a big amount. Give them the original file. You know, we have a part of our team in our studio who does wedding, but we only do selected people. And our images, each image will be around 25 to 30 MB. But what I'm trying to say is, when they say 300 pictures, maximum 600, 650, 700, or say even 800 photographs, good enough. But I've seen photographers who are shooting roughly around 20,000 pictures. Reputed photographers. No names. 25,000, 30,000 images. He'll come down with this team of 10 people and don't deliver the images. I know. I can show you so many. I've seen so many. But do not take a bad name, please. We photographers are here. Let us give a good name to the photography community. I have lived as a photographer. I will die as a photographer. My family, I'm very proud to tell you, probably we are the oldest in the Twin Cities. We have 190 plus years of photography in our family, which nobody is there. I don't think anybody is doing photography. I am the 4th generation, my son is the 5th generation. Okay? What I want you to do is, when you take up any assignment, do it with your heart. Don't do it with your mind. Okay? So, thank you very much, one and all.